Hi there, you're at the Casper Wyckoff analysis session, and let's quickly take a look at the charts and see where Casper is. Given the fact that I mentioned in the first session, if we look at the chart, while we can still see sort of the Wyckoff patterns, one very key thing is if I shrink it a little, I want to compare this to Ethereum, because if we look at what happened, just because the charts are so different, so let me switch that off and switch off the auto and bring that up again. Probably I wanted to, let's take it out and add it again, because I want it to be a percentage scale. What I want to show you is, if you're really interested in an altcoin project, one very important factor is look at the fluctuations compared to other more long-standing projects. In this case, we're looking at Ethereum. During the time between the 2022 to even early 2024, the patterns are pretty much like synchronizing. So whenever Ethereum gets to a peak or gets to a valley, like Casper kind of follows until the point the gap widens. It's when it gets to near the end of December 2023 or fourth quarter of 2023. And especially starting first quarter in 2024, you see this gap widens by a whole lot. So that's not a positive sign, I would say, if you're interested in a project like this, unless there are very convincing reasons for you to put your interest, time, and money in it. So enough said as the background story. By looking at the chart and the Wyckoff pattern, I've made some revision because the chart was so crazy of the initial price movement. Now, if I change it back to the absolute amount, here we might have gone through a distribution cycle between March or end 2023 all the way to March 2024. Now, November last year, there was a little bit of rebound from the selling climax. That's automatic rally, and multiple tests back in April and even now, July, end of July or mid-July. So the new test started somewhere in mid-June, and it's continuing to where we are today. What happened in late April might be a sign of strength, but it didn't last long. It only lasted for 2 days trading at the range a little bit above the yellow resistance line at around 2 cents 50. Now, given this big picture, according to the Wyckoff pattern, there is a chance that after the selling climax, multiple tests, it may reach a new buying climax. The big question is, I mentioned it in the first session, I believe, that I covered Casper, is we noticed the significant decline of the peaks coming downward. So if I exclude the very crazy period initially, if I draw a line here, if it really follows this trajectory, this buying climax wouldn't be very high. It may be somewhere between this green line and this light blue line, so somewhere between 3 cents and 4 cents, if it really follows this declining slope. So whether or not somebody would like to invest in something like this, given there are other options, that's really something to think about. And then obviously, let me adjust the chart, if it really comes at least level of that what we have in 2024, that's very That's a very good sign for people who are waiting for that to happen. I hope you will be able to see that happening, but always check whether the project is going healthy. And back to the analysis, there's one more thing I want to mention as well. From the buying climax to the test we're seeing now is going through an upward trend, and hopefully the current price retreat doesn't go below this ascending line. If it does, then it means there may be some more accumulation to happen before the buying climax will come, because even after multiple tests, there can be still like a deeper test. We call that a spring and Wyckoff analysis that can go deeper than the selling climax. So while we hope for the price to go up in the next few weeks, don't be surprised if it comes down for one more test. So that's the backdrop. And then if we go to the daily chart, let me enlarge it. So previously we put in a tag asking, hey, would we be heading towards a buying climax? And indeed we have seen this happen on the 21st, so just a week or so ago. And then immediately there was the automatic reaction, much like what happened back in May. Those are the usual stages. And instead of second test this time, or a very low second test, it seems like this is like a last point of supply. So it's like this peak is only at the level of the automatic rally. So whether or not this has already gone into a distribution cycle, I would say I have hesitation about it. I would expect it goes a little bit higher, at least at around the level of this orange resistance line at around 0.16. So this one here may well be another sign of strength, and instead of AR here is basically some more tests that are happening. So I put in the tests and the test. I'm thinking out loud right now that it should be a scenario like what I mentioned. It's still trading along this here, the green line at around 0.14, and this yellow line, or I should take this out because we have the red line now. So between the 0.01 to 0.014, that's the trading range we're having as of this moment. I am inclined to think we're still inside the accumulation cycle in the daily chart, while the weekly, much more or less the same in its accumulation, while it seems like it's trending upwards. So this pendant over here that we're seeing, if you're in the candlestick analysis, that means there's a breakout coming soon. So as we're getting closer and closer to the tip, it has to go either above this white line or below the bottom white line. So that's where we're heading to. If I add in the current squeeze, currently the purple is within the orange. So whenever that happens, there will be, most of the cases, significant price moves. So I've showed it in my other sessions before, and even for Casper, we have seen once here during November 2023, the price surged, and then another squeeze here in March 2024 where the price go all the way down, and then eventually just in April, late April this year, there was a little bit of squeeze and the price shot up, but quickly returned to the level where we talked about. And now, for this entire period, since then, since May, early May, or even late April, the counter squeeze, that means the Bollinger Band, and the brackets, the orange is basically bracketing the entire purple. So supposedly a big price movement, it's been brewed, it's in the oven or microwave that's been cooked already. And looking at what's happening here, maybe that's when the next spine climax will come in no time. So if I enlarge this, you see what happened here, right? So that was a period where the purple was pretty much enclosed by the orange. That's a period of around 2 weeks time. Now what we're seeing is a period of 30 days already, and we're still counting because the price is still within here. When it moves, it may be a move bigger than what we've seen back in April, because this period of power accumulation took way longer. So the build up is hopefully would be larger than what we've seen in April, and that's the picture for Casper. While there may be a lot of questions whether the project is still going to be successful, from the chart itself, it's like it's heading towards a big move. Whether it's up or down, it really depends on, like I said, the healthiness of the project and whether the community is still supporting it, irrespective of like any questions that others may have. So let's see what's going to happen in August. That's